Hello, everybody, and welcome to a dual threat. We've got the lighting challenge announcement. We're announcing the winner. We're also going to go through the challenge submissions and do some critiquing, and then we're going to look at the normal daily critiques. So, an all for one, it's a supersized Friday critique session before the holiday weekend. So we had some. I mean, obviously, just incredible submissions. We were working with the Griffin Academy on this. This was from one of their students. The stuff was just stellar across the board. They were so excited to see it. And from their standpoint, it's so cool because you're seeing it in all these different capacities and all these different styles and layouts. And it's really cool to go through everything. And just beautiful images were being created across the board. I'll go through all the animations here. So this is David. This is a very Fifth Element with the orange hair. And you guys rolled with like the hair cache issues and the like the effects elements and all like the different stuff. And like we said, this was more of a simulation of a actual production than we ever anticipated. So really incredible job overall with this. Let's see, go through a couple more of these. And I don't know how the heck you guys got this stuff rendered from home machines. I mean, I know that like some of this is lower resolution. But like the fact that you guys were able to get it done at all is pretty incredible. Sandy. All right. Go through these last couple here. This is kind of cool. Okay, so without much further ado, we want to announce the winner. So we had a debated but ultimately unanimous decision on this, and the winner of this month's lighting challenge is Sandy. We thought that the style on this was so cool. We thought the look that you were able to create was really fantastic. It was just unique. It was something that we weren't expecting. It was something different. You met all of the normal lighting notes of having like good shaping and good mood setting, all while incorporating a unique style and a unique voice to it, which is something we always look for in this stuff. And so we just thought it was incredibly cool. Additionally, and it wasn't just because it was animated, you also included these stills with it, which were just baller. Like these are just so cool. They're so beautiful. Like this is. I've seen this character because she's kind of floating around in the world of CG, and this is the best I've ever seen her look. Like the specularity in her lips, the cheeks, along with the stylized look, the shaping, the glitter on the necklace, the glitter on the hair beads and the earrings, just really really cool. And so congratulations, Sandy. We'll go ahead and add your tag as a lighting challenge champion. We'll go ahead and give it a little clap here. And then, and now I'm going to go through and I'll just talk about everything. Because like I said, these were really strong submissions. You guys are incredibly talented all the time. That's not just me talking. I get messages all the time from coworkers and people who are like, man, your students are incredible. The only thing I would say about this image is you just need a little bit more contact shadow for the hair along the top here. And that's about it. That's probably just more of a modeling thing, just kind of hiding that. But that's pretty much it. This rim light is looking so cool and so strong. It's really really great. The only thing I think that we could potentially do is I think these red lights could actually go a little bit brighter. Just kind of bloom them up a little bit because the red influence is spilling in the room entirely. Like I really like the way that like that level of brightness versus that level of brightness. I like the way those orange ones along the ground are a little bit brighter, just so we can just kind of glowing up like the fluorescent tubing. But everything else is looking really great. You've got some really nice specular highlights coming down along. Let's see, where we go. Like just kind of picking up along here. And it's interesting because normally I would say that you wanted to keep these in the same color family as the reds, but it's working out okay. It kind of lives in that same realm, and I think it's working out really well. And the character lighting looks good. This flip is actually really really difficult because it's like an action sequence, so there's so much going on. But then we hit this pose, and it stops and it allows you time to sit and resonate. And so like this is so important to get this pose right in amongst all the chaos. And you've got like this hard rim, you've got good shaping going along the leg, just throughout the body. And in this pose, it was very easy for her back to go flat, and you did a really great job with that. So now I just kind of want to go through some of the other submissions. We have Andre. I love the design of this. I think it's super cool. It's just one thing about this is that with this kind of overall glow going on, we just need to figure out a way to find more opportunities to direct the viewer's eye. I think you've got a little bit of that as this is kind of wrapping off over here, but I do actually think that this could go darker this way, and perhaps we could find ways to like tone down the brightness back behind. Like we can, just like this wall and throughout all of it is just kind of similar, and we just need to find creative ways of getting that toned down. But that's just kind of an inherent problem to this style. And I think that you've done a really great job with it. Her skin could definitely, even though she's getting hit by broader light, it would be good to fake in some tighter lights in there to kind of get that variation. And like we saw in Sandy's still of her lips versus her skin, it would be nice to kind of get that variation in here as well. But this is, like I said, we've gone over this one a few times. This is really strong. I think you're heading down the right path, and I think we'll get there with the nice demo reel worthy piece. Clever. This one was, in the debate for the championship because I love what you did with her suit. It's so unique. It's really powerful. I just think that the glow of that could have actually influenced a little bit more into the space. Like especially when she was like closer to the ground down here. We just like I feel like they're bright and they're glowy and they're just kind of isolated to just the shader and not actually spilling out into the space. I think the way that you've got the character sliding across here at the end is really, really nice. I do think that there could have been a little bit more pockets of light passing through, and then also. One of the things about this type of thing, it's really cool, but in order to create a sense of danger for the hero, we need that light to spill onto the character, right? We need that to happen together so that they feel close together, right? So she feels like he's right up against her. Kicks him away. Cool. But like I love the external space. We could spill a little bit more light in there if possible. Her in this pose again, you did the most difficult thing, which is like getting that good shaping in through that area. It's just a matter of getting some of these light elements to play off of each other and play into the different scenes. David, this looks. I love how you were able to get the orange hair to play and to pop. It's a little bit like it looks really good in here. In like this region because it feels believably orange but still interacting with the light. As we get up into this, it gets a little flat and super bright. So I think that it's a little bit of a challenge with it, but if you could maintain basically never allow it to get so bright that it just flattens out. And then with these sparks and stuff, again, just trying to get them to interact with lighting into the space the way that this explosion happens behind her. But we don't like it would be great to get a little bit of an orange rim on her at that moment, right? It's about getting her to interact with these elements. But I think everything else is looking really nice. Yeah, cool color scheme, cool concept. Again, you were right there in the running. I love the texture on her suit. It's very modern and cool and sleek, and I really, really like it. Diana, let's see. This is like rock solid lighting, right? This is, you've got shaping, you've got your warms and your cools. Same thing as I was saying with the effects integration, I think that's the big thing that was that's stopping this from going to the next level, is because the lighting setup is really well executed and it's really strong, but there isn't like, this is an exciting kind of wow moment, and I think that there needs to be more of a dynamic lighting setup to accommodate that. That being said, like your like I mentioned this in the critique yesterday, but like your use of specularity in the skin is so good, and she's looking great. I wouldn't change anything about her. I just think that, you know, maybe we can do something a little more dynamic with her suit, and then just like some more dynamic qualities about the sparks kind of going up. And what I'm talking about is like, you know, you put in like a point light or something to simulate this, and then you kind of comp it together just to kind of make it all interactive and really dynamic. But this one, again, you're, you know, and then back here, just getting some of that glow on the robot. Because again, you're doing a great job. It's all rock solid. It's just that like next level up. Justin, love the softness back there. That's really cool the way that's bouncing around. Sorry, I just kicked out my laptop charger down below. And this is a funny pose for her arms. I don't think human arms can really do that. I don't know, but I think I just want to see more of this. I think in this pose, again, specularity in the skin's looking good. The robot feels a little flat. Like it feels like there could be some more differentiation between the individual components of the robot. And just that, like the scale of these dings all just kind of feels very consistent throughout. So like getting some more wear and tear in some other areas and less in some, and just kind of varying that up, maybe varying some color in there would be good. But I just want to say, I kind of want to see this play out throughout. But this is a really, really good start. And like I said, I love the use of this warm foreground over this cool background. It's really, really strong, really nice. Kat, I'm going to withhold critique for a moment because I know you just posted some new ones, and so I wanna. This was more of what was submitted the other day. Is that okay? Because I know, yeah. Okay, cool. Kevin. So again, just for reference, we're looking at Wally, and I think that you can actually go stronger with the aerial perspective and actually get some of this stuff in the haze as we start to step back. Because there's some darker, like these darks right back here kind of like make my eye pop back there, and I want to stay in on the characters and allow her, especially her values, to be as dark as it can be. For these robots, I think they can get more light overall on them, because again, there's nothing really occluding them. It's just a big, bright, open day. So I think that we can feel more of that warmth onto their metal components as well. And watch out for some of these super brights in here. They just they kind of clip out in a weird way where they get super saturated in there. And so it's just something to be aware of in there. And like you kind of, actually, I don't know if is that something glowing back there, or is that?
It's the same thing. It's usually not as bad in the high res. It's just the quality on the video is so low.
Got it.
And I was like, oh my god.
And again, when we talk about like low quality on this stuff, I'm just impressed you guys were able to get this stuff rendered. It's incredibly, it's just like the logistic challenge of getting all that done and getting that balanced is very difficult. And same deal with the integrating the effects elements. I think that's something. And then watch out for her hair. Kind of gets a little gray in through here. Just get some warmth in the rims on this, because the rest of it's looking pretty good. It's just making sure that stays on brand with the environment. But cool stuff, man. Yeah, that looks. It's again. Oh, I lost that one frame. But yeah, the high res do look a lot better. You can start to see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Maybe ignore that note because that does feel a lot better. Although, like looking at the reference, and this might be a divergent point from the reference, everything doesn't quite go that bright.
Yeah.
Just because it's more like with the smog over. That makes sense, because with the smog overcast, we don't get direct sunlight, so maybe it doesn't quite get that bright.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Sandy, we talked about yours already and how good it is. This is Thomas. This is really cool. This red bit that I guess is the robot that bought, like the reds of the robots are so saturated in this space. I would pull that back a little bit just because they're so like. I mean, it's telling something that I'm more aware of this one back here in your shot than I am of anybody else's. So there's something there. Like there's like I think you're heading down the right path, and I think it's a good style choice, but I just think that it's a little bit too strong. Conversely, we could add something a little bit more to get her to pop because she kind of like falls back into the space. So maybe that's part of it too. So the space can stay kind of backgroundy, but like we need something to get her to pop off. Like maybe she's a little brighter. Maybe because like down here her saturation and value points are very similar to the background, so we just kind of lose out on that. So I think basically we can just make her brighter and find her way to make her a little bit more saturated, pull down the saturation point a little bit on the robots, and I think we'll be in a good spot there. Great job getting the light to interact. Like that's what we're talking about, like getting that feeling of that there's like an explosion right in front of her. I think she could even go brighter in this moment. Like it literally is like an exploding thing a half a foot away from her. And the way that it's kind of hitting the robot really is nice in there. But yeah, like I said, good shaping in throughout this. It's a little dusty overall. It'd be nice to get some more specularity in there, but really good job. And last, we're gonna finish up with T here. So T, I love the yellow eyes. Stylistically, it's just I think you're still in probably the earlier stages. This almost, and actually it almost feels like a play blast in some of the shader qualities. Like there's very hard shadows. You can see them coming across here, and I would love to see some reference for this, just to know where you're coming from, what your goals are, because I think there's a unique style that's starting to form in here. I just really want to help you get across the finish line, so it feels more polished, and it feels more it feels a little more, I don't want to say professional, but like a little more professional, a little more polished, and a little bit more focused, and less kind of just generally abstract. All right, so that's the lighting challenge. Again, congratulations to Sandy. Beautiful job again, and beautiful job to so many of you guys. This is, again, you're blowing it away every single time. And we've got the winter scene is our September lighting challenge, or July, and it's our July lighting challenge. So it's 1 month long. We'll be finishing up on the 31st. This was from Eugene, who's one of our students. If you are an existing student or you've purchased the Asset Library bundle in the past, you can find it you can find the links in the announcements section. If you've never participated before in the lighting challenge, you can also find this on our marketplace, which is our new home for all of our developing assets. We switched over to this marketplace because we wanted to give our users an opportunity to sell some assets as well. So if you have something that you want to sell, let me know. We can set that up as well. Okay, now let's hop over into our critiques for today. So first thing, I'm going to go through the videos first, and then we're going to take a look at Chris sent over some files to look at. I'm going to hop over to Nuke, and then we'll go into Photoshop and look at the stills from today. So make sure I got Aaron's new one. Aaron, so talk to me about the updates. What changed? What are we looking at? Ooh,
Sorry, can you do me last, because Ashley's in critique right now. She's also on a microphone. Thanks.
You got it. Ashley and Aaron, we will do you in a little bit. Okay, let's hop over into Chris. Yay, working at home with spouses. Okay. All right. So Aaron's question was, Chris's question was, we have this beauty pass. We have the specular lighting, and he was trying to, actually, let me just go ahead and redo this from scratch. And he was trying to make an adjustment to this, but it was essentially that, you would go in, let's say that you were going to change the brightness and the color of this. Let's say we wanted this rim light to be brighter, and instead of this kind of bluish, we wanted to push it more into like a purpley red color. And the problem is that when you take this and you put it back into the original, it kind of adds, because that's literally what it's doing. It adds on top of what was originally there. But there is a step with this, because when you work with AOVs, there's two different ways that you can work with it. Number one is you can do what we're doing now, where we take the beauty and just make an adjustment to one thing. Or you can take the beauty, split out every AOV that you've created, and then add them all together and construct them into one. Into, like, basically you're rebuilding the final beauty out of the AOVs. In this particular case, we're just wanting to isolate one element of it and change that out. So before we can alter it, we need to actually subtract it from the original. So that's the one step about this process. So we take this shuffled inside of this, and actually the operation that we're going to be looking for is minus. So basically what this does is this removes these pixel values from this original, so that we can then alter it and then put it back over the top. Now, because of how this was broken out without the alpha channel, you can either over it or plus it, whichever you prefer. Just because there is no alpha channel, we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So that's the big thing. It's like you have to minus it from the original and then plus in any alterations that you make to that AOV. Chris,
Got it.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. All right, great. Let's hop over into... All right, we'll hop over into Photoshop. Kat, so this is your update to it. I think this is very cool. I think the rim is looking good on her. I'm liking that.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I would like to see differently, well, just like now we're getting into some nitpicky stuff. I think that these lights can actually, like the core of the light can actually go a little bit brighter. Like, I think we can add like a little bit of brightness type of a glow thing. Actually, I'm going to demonstrate on this top one, because this is a little bit in the comp. But
how should I guess I have basically two area lights in there, and so the smaller one is the middle one, and it kind of looks kind of lame right now. I'm trying to figure out how to make it look like it's not just a square light.
So
is that just adding glow to it will make it look more light bulby?
You have to add a little bit of a like a halo-y glow around it in order for that to kind of work. Because what's happening is like the render, actually that's not strong enough. Let me do this again.
Yeah, because I don't think the volumetrics is affecting that little light inside, so I need to do something just to affect that light, I guess.
Right. So what's happening is, you need to isolate that in the comp and then kind of glow it up and bloom it a little bit, because when things get very bright when they're photographed, you don't see the hard edge of it. Right. That starts to get obscured. And so by seeing that hard edge like we're doing now, it's not feeling right to our eye. So we need to blur that up. We need to soften that a little bit more. So that's the big thing about it. There's only so much you can do with a really bright element in the render. Renderers do have the ability to like add post-process effects that can kind of do that. But if the renderer isn't giving it to you out of the gate, I think it's better. I think it's better to add it yourself in the post-process as opposed to having some automated thing, because those don't always look and feel right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that being said, okay. So those lights need to go brighter. I want to see a little bit more of this green light on the ground here, and I want to find some more darker points in like some of these darker areas of the ground itself. Feel a little bit lifted, and I think it would be better if, and again, this could be a comp adjustment too, if the ground had just like a touch more like darkness within it. So
okay.
Kind of like the dark point can kind of match up with that a little bit better. So
okay.
So that's pretty much all I have for this one, because I think it's looking really good.
Okay. Do you want her to always have a red rim, like on the other angles? Because I can change the rims on the other stuff to red too.
I think so. Let let's try it. I think that'll work. I think that'll work well.
Okay. Okay.
All right. It's
Cool
tough because
beans.
of the camera move and stuff, and that's where the difficulty of animation kind of comes in there.
Right. Okay.
All right, Brenda. So, love the look overall. You made some tweaks. The light bulbs look a ton better. Those look really good. Do you guys have any notes on this one? I think it's feeling pretty good. Maybe just depth of field, if there is maybe a little bit more. I guess there's a little bit here in the foreground, but I think, yeah, I think just just a little bit stronger depth of field. Like, it's mostly in the background. Like, I think the boat should be a little bit out of focus, and maybe just the edge of this should be out of focus too. Why is this not trying anything? Oh, I know. So just like this, and the boat should be out of focus. But I think everything else is looking really good. Yeah, great job. So, let's just do that with one last iteration, then we'll be happy to clap for it, hopefully on Monday if you have the opportunity. Or, I'm sorry, Tuesday. Again, no critique on Monday, holiday weekend. Right. And last up in the stills, we have Abishek. So I was looking at this, and like, you're making really, really strong progress every day. I still am not convinced this light is on. I want to see if this is too dense for light to penetrate through it. I want to see light around the rim of the bottom or something to indicate that this thing is causing this light. The hardness of the light in some of these foreground elements, like on the cards and across his head, I want to soften that a little bit. I don't want that to be like crisp hard. Looking at the reference, you can see one of the things that's really nice about Joy's is like the softness of the shadows and the softness of a lot of these qualities that, you can even though there's the harder light bulb going on, it just feels a little bit more natural. It feels a little bit softer and overall a little bit more together to get those kind of softer shadows. I like that there's a television glow. I think it's a little bit too kind of just going out from it. It would feel better if you could get it kind of facing this way. It's just like it's just like maybe try throwing it a little bit further forward if you can. And also, I was looking at some reference on this. And one of the things about television screens when you're exposing for an interior space is that, like, and same thing here, like their dark points don't get, like, I'm seeing some real darks in there. I would just, and also very saturated points, I would pull back the saturation and the dark values, and just kind of create, because it's also like a little bit pulling our eye back there. We want to stay focused in here. So lower the contrast, lift the dark points, pull back the saturation. I think it'll feel a little bit better as a TV screen. And then also there's, let's see, like there's a little bit of this, like you can kind of feel a grid on it. Like, and that's kind of how older televisions, like there's kind of a, like, because there's just the individual pixels. So that kind of creates kind of a haze back there on it. So I would consider, even if it's just 2D, to find a black and white, very tight grid, and just putting that over the top. I've used that in the past in shows, and it works out really well. Just to kind of get that, like, so it doesn't just look like an image that's slapped on. I think those are the biggest points for now. And then I think that you can just, if you haven't already added this in comp, I would definitely, like I said, move over into the comp. Actually, it looks like because you have the glow there. I just, again, to go off of what we were talking about kind of in previous one, just there just can be an overall warm softness that can kind of fall into this. Let's see. Like something more like this that kind of allows that warmer tungsten light to feel like it's bouncing around the room a little bit. And if you want to, you can also, depending on how, there is room for you to get a little bit more saturation. a little more saturation in the reds of the octopus because he has a very specific kind of red color, and you can, if you want to, you can kind of push that a little bit too. There's some range in there for that. So it all depends on how red you wanna get them. So okay, Aaron, how are we doing? Are you good? You ready? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. It just happened to line up that we were.
No apology necessary. I had to run out of the room. My wife had an important meeting yesterday, and I had to literally like crawl out of the room. So because her computer is between the door and where I sit, and so yeah. So okay. So.
Right.
And of course I called on you to say words, which wasn't great. Sorry about that. So talk to me about what's going on here. What's been updated?
So this is about a week and a half's worth of high-res renders. A lot of just tech fixes in here. I tracked in the iDings yesterday. I think there's 2 things that I really want to fix, and they're in comp. I think one, when this branch breaks, there's one frame where the animator must have swapped in a model or something for debris, and like on one frame it completely misses a texture, so I have to figure that out. The iDings on the Cricut, I tracked in circles, but also like there was actually an existing iDing, so I'm gonna go take the existing one out and just keep mine so they're not overlapping.
Got it.
I mean, that's really it. If you have anything else, I mean, I would like to try to limit it to comp. The only thing that's actually affordable to re-render is like the Cricut. The Cricut will render quick because he's on screen less, by a lot less.
Got it.
But everything else takes like a day and a half to 2 days to get through. Well, I guess not the environment.
Yeah, lucky for you, this looks rad. Like, I think it looks really great. I don't think that there's any major re-rendering that has to occur. I think there's some really fine, like really cool details that are emerging from this. Like the subsurface and the mouth looks so good. I saw that, I was like, yes, that. Like there's something tangible and real, and like it feels like the inside of a small creature's mouth. It's very cool. I think I would just soften these god rays back here a little bit more. And I think the Cricket's eyes are, I would just, like this one in particular looks like a little dark and dingy. I would just make it a little brighter. But I know we kind of went back and forth on that.
Yeah, the Cricket's been the eyes especially have been all over, so it's like, I'm not.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I think it's just the lighting too. It just depends on what pocket of light.
Yeah, when he hits the light, like it looks good. It's just he spends so much time in the shadow. Yeah, like there it looks pretty good. Maybe, and a lot of it too is just getting the distinction between the iris and the sclera. Like, it might just be a matter of desaturating the sclera and just saturating up the iris or something.
There's his eyeball, and then there's a shell that's just completely like a lens that I'm darkening that lens. Should I lighten up more on that? That's going to reveal more of a yellow eyeball.
Oh, I see. Give it a try. I mean, like, you've got the aesthetic eye. I trust you that it's just, I'm just naming the things that are standing out to me that the eye felt a little bit dirty. But yeah, and especially again when he rotates this way, this one feels especially dark too. It's just like something that stood out to me when I was watching it for the first go. But like I said, everything else is that's a really minor note. Like this just looks great. I mean, I have that note every time I've seen anything from the penguins of Madagascar, and like the lemurs have the yellow eyes. I think I think I just react to that. I don't know. Probably just me. Yeah, that's all. I think you've had a really great balance here. I think it looks great. Does anyone else have any thoughts? Wait, one thing. Well, there's like a little pop right there in the wrist of it. You can just see like that right there.
That's a bummer.
Just paint it out. Just paint it out. Don't worry about it.
Paint like just
paint.
Is it a desaturation thing?
I would take this frame,
Hold
and
it.
just hold it and just paint it right on top there.
Okay.
Because I think like this frame matches this frame,
Yep.
so you can just.
Yep.
That's my technical note. Just paint it out.
Yep.
Beautiful job, man.
Thanks.
All right, Ashley. Let's watch this through. There's some layering thing going on with the microphone. Just noticing that. Like it kind of gets semi-transparent there. Just watch out for that. Sorry, I'm just watching this through one more time. Because I'm thinking, I'm just wondering if there's an opportunity to get more of the screen change into the reflection of the eyes. I think that would definitely help make that difference. And then, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah. Are you just? I'll act as proxy for her since she's busy. The change in the eyes. Are you looking more for like red in the eyes? I think she actually took some red out to keep like, because I know it's always.
It's not the color. Like there's definitely red in the eyes from the light. I'm talking about the actual reflection, like that.
Okay. Yep.
Like that could reflect that a little more.
Okay.
I actually think it can go the red can go brighter on the desk here because this is so close to the monitor. Like I think down there can actually get a lot brighter. And make sure that the layer that's casting the red light on there is the same depth of field for these foreground cans, because it looks like here they look very out of focus, and then when the red light comes on I can see the rim of them. So it makes me think that layer may not be in the same depth of field range.
It's like sharp, right?
Right. Like when the red, and it could be an optical illusion, but I think it might be that a layering thing. If we could make his eyebrows the same shader as his hair, that would be cool too, because the eyebrows feel a little bit matte and a little bit dark. Not that I have that issue in my life, but just a thought. And then I don't know, I'll open it up. Aaron and Kevin and Ayako and Chris, what do you guys think?
I don't. Yeah, like I see all the things you're talking about. My thing is like I would work on it. I'll have to talk to her and see what she's doing. There's definitely something in the wrists going on, like shader wise, and I don't know if that's she's trying to accommodate for like a different radius.
Yeah.
I feel like if that's what she's doing, maybe making the arms a different shader than like the face, rather than the hands a different shader than arm. I don't know. Like I'll see what she's got going on.
I do love the interaction between the hands and the keyboard. I think that looks really good.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, I think that is all for today. Big day, guys. All right. I'm going to cut it off from there. Guys, have a wonderful holiday weekend. I will see you next Tuesday. If you need anything at all, let me know. I will, as in our tradition, my wife is working all weekend, so I've got both kids, so I won't be on my computer very much, but if you have questions, if things come up, I'm always here for you, so just let me know what you guys need, all right?
Cool.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Cool. Thanks.
Talk to
Bye.
you. Bye.